gentlemen, we are back for episode 227, 2 nights in a row. The boys are back. Edge is here. Tex is here. I'm your co-host, AK. Episode 227, not April Fool's Day. We did do an April Fool's Day. People thought we were kidding because we had Mike Kim on the show. Not so fast, my friend. Lee Corso, you. Happy National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. I've got some sweet facts. Didn't even tell the guys about this because I'm going to sneak it in there. But these are fun facts. Very fun facts about PB&J. Edge, Tex, how are we doing?
Great, man. How are you?
Peanut butter and jelly is elite, first of all. 100%.
What kind of peanut butter are you, though?
Crunchy. So you mean, ugh?
Okay. Nah, I'm not feeling that.
Nobody wants a crunchy peanut butter and jelly, dude. Nobody wants that.
Yes.
Nobody wants
that.
Want
a crunchy...
Now, if you want a crunchy one, you should toast your bread. That's it.
No.
Toasted
We're not making avocado toast here. We're not making avocado toast. No.
What brand of peanut butter?
I don't really care.
Whatever's at Sam's or Costco.
Yeah.
Organic Sam's or Costco.
Dude, I grew up. I could tell a difference if it wasn't Jif when I was growing up. Honestly, I was like, nope, not eat it.
I try and get like the whatever that has the lowest sugar because like most peanut butter stuff now it has so much sugar in it. It's not even like peanut butter.
Yeah,
dude. I watched a video. I sent this to our family group of how ranch and coffee creamer are made. Oh man, you'll never eat it again. You will never eat it again.
Don't send that video.
Oh, I'm sending it to you.
Unless it's homemade. Only eat the homemade stuff, man.
Don't eat it. Don't eat it. I will. If you want it, text us or DM me or send us a message. Be like, I want to see that video. It is atrocious.
I'm ready to be disgusted.
Yes, be disgusted. We'll have to show it on the show one day. We'll all just puke at the same. It'll be like this Family Guy episode of just grabbing each other's ears, just puking all over each other.
So happy Peanut Butter and Jelly Day.
Yeah. Oh, there's a gross fishing story involving peanut butter and jelly that I will not tell on this show. Today is a little bit different. We have an interview for episode 227 that we did last night that we will play at the conclusion of this segment where we go over some stuff. And that is thank you to Michael Kim, PGA Tour golfer, one of the hottest golfers on tour.
On the Masters.
5 top 13s in his last 8 events. Absolutely cooking. Dialed in to make the Masters, had to get in top 50 official golf world rankings, did that, came on our show. We talked everything. We talked about the Chargers. We talked about the Masters. We talked about the grill debate, which he's on my side. They're not touching. Shout out Mike Kim.
No, he said he didn't care.
No.
That's what he said. He said the argument could go either way, is what he said. Get it right. Once again, you're changing the story. Even we are. Watch this after the video, after the podcast. He said, I'm not wasting another breath on this conversation because it's not worth my time.
Because it's a done deal. Because he said initially it's not touching.
He said it could go either way. It's touching or it's not touching. You tell me.
Nope. Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Mike Kim, thank you. You're a GOAT guest. And we hope you win the Masters because that would be awesome. And we're going to be rooting hard for you. Also, update, hats are in. Patches are on the way. Hats will be ready this weekend, boys. I got to figure out how to ship them. I need to order more because I think I'm going to get rid of the 12 that I have immediately, basically. So there's buzz, a lot of considerable buzz. On the show, we're just going to do Salute Your Sports. We got a couple of headlines. And then we will kick it over to us, not future us, past us. Yeah, past us with the interview with Mike Kim. So that will be our golf segment of the show. We still are a golf podcast, but that is
I just read Texas' name down at the bottom. Sorry, go ahead.
Dylon is the throat. Okay. All right.
Defend yourself, Dylon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I meant to put this up while we were talking about Mike Kim. My bad, guys. But here's the thumbnail. Go check him out. Absolute gem. Really wishing for him to do well in the Masters. Okay. Next up, we got PB&J Day. Here are the fun facts. 1901. This is the worst picture ever, by the way. When the first reference to PB&J was made, the average number of PB&J sandwiches an American will eat before turning 18 is 1,500. That seems a little low. 27% of the daily required fat in a PB&J sandwich. That sucks. The percentage of daily required calories in a PB&J sandwich is 22%. Oh, if you eat 2 of those, that's pretty much all you need almost. 94% of the Americans who have at least 1 jar of peanut butter at home. 29% of people who prefer crunchy peanut butter. So I'm one of one, or I'm one of three. I'm one of three.
Loser.
Nope.
That's what the losers eat.
3,000 PB&Js are the numbers eaten in somebody's lifetime average. 3,000. That's low. I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, that's way low.
I
used to eat 2 PB&Js a day.
Yeah.
Working out in the field and stuff, especially like if you're on equipment all day, you just get something quick, hammer it and go, get back to work. And, especially you get to the job site at 5 a.m, leaving at 7 p.m, you just get a couple snacks in you and keep going. So I would say that 3,000 is probably a couple of years instead of a lifetime, but
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would also agree that 3,000 is low for a lifetime for me. There was definitely summers where I lived off of peanut butter and jelly as a teenager and young 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly and Cheetos or Doritos for a summer snack. You're not beating that, pal.
And dude, especially like when I was trying to put weight on, oatmeal and peanut butter, everything had peanut butter. Breakfast with a scoop of peanut butter,
one sandwich has a third of your daily required fat and 22% of your calories.
Yeah.
The Uncrustable was invented in 1998, by the way. Fun fact.
Still a great snack too.
Oh, I have some of those in the freezer. I rarely eat them, but every now and then I'm just like, you know what?
Smash it.
Let me thaw one of these babies out. So, anyways, that's PB&J Day. You can't hate on PB&J Day. So BMO says you can go to the post office and put them in a box and put the person's address on the box and pay money. That's how you can ship them crazy money.
Wow. Who would have thought that?
Thank you, BMO. Thank you very much.
Don't trust the postal service.
Unless it's J-Vi's. Never mind. We got respect for the postal workers, though.
Okay. I'm joking.
Oh. Respect. Trust and respect. Actually.
Respect.
Shh. Everybody shh. Salute your sports. Here we go. Here's the headlines. Oh, wait. Snuck another one in there. Shout out. Salute to American Idol. They had some chick who auditioned and sang the Carrie Underwood Sunday Night Football song.
Nice.
Get her the golden ticket or whatever they give American Idol now.
You're going to Hollywood.
Made everybody miss football.
That's exactly. Football's back again.
Can't get away from it.
So, shout out her. I didn't even listen to it. They said it was really good, but I didn't listen to it. So, okay. Here we go. NFL rule change headlines. Number 1, we had the NFL coaches meetings this past week, or maybe this week, still going on. We're going to tell you which ones we liked and what we didn't like. We have Coastal Carolina changing the concession game. Oh my God! You're gonna have to forgive me. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm gonna have to add something in here in a minute. You boys are gonna have to hold the torch while I fix this egregious error because completely forgot to do exactly what we were supposed to do. Number 3, Frozen 4 actually had some parity. We're not going to talk Final Four. We'll do another show later in the week on that. I forget when the games even are. That'll be a separate show. But the Frozen 4, we're going to talk some hockey, talk some puck around and find out.
I'm already out of the Frozen 4.
Why?
I had Boston College winning it.
You don't know puck, dude. Clearly.
Oh.
You don't know puck. All right, here we go. Number 1. Here's an overview of the NFL rule changes, basically, everybody. The annual meeting wrapped up in Palm Beach. Here's what you need to do. Shout out Haley Lewis. I don't know who this is, but she's got a crown. The proposal to ban the tush push is being tabled. Only 16 teams were in favor of banning the push, what is 8 short of the 24 needed to pass. The NFL, that's number one. The NFL approved the proposal to allow both teams the ability to possess the ball in the overtime, but amend it to 10 minutes. Buffalo Bills rule again. Every time they lose, they have to change the rule because they stink. The NFL also approved the expanded replay assist, meaning they can just take a look at like intentional grounding or illegal contact or roughing the passer, certain things like that. Of course, that's going to make the game slower. The NFL will also implement new rules for the kickoff return. The onside kick amendment will be voted on later in May, while the touchbacks on kickoffs now bring the ball to the 35-yard line. We kind of touched about that. The proposal to eliminate the automatic first downs for the defensive holding and illegal contact did not pass. J-Bot is going to be furious.
That's the one I wanted so bad.
There's a couple of these that we gotta talk about. The NFL decided also to table a proposal for playoff seeding. I think Detroit did that one. Now that they're making the playoffs, they think that they can just change the playoffs. Calm down, Detroit. You've been in the playoffs like 3 years. Relax. This is how it's been forever. Either you're the best team or you're not. I don't care if all your players got hurt, Detroit. That sucks. Sorry about you. There's nothing you can do about it now. Win your games. That would have allowed wild card teams with a better regular season record than division champions to host a postseason game. Dude, that is such a beta move by the Lions. How are you going to be hard, Dan Campbell, with your long polo shirt? Coming up in here complaining that we should have been. That's how it's been. They finally get to the playoffs and they got to change everything. So those are most of the ones. Any thoughts on those, boys? I mean, that list right there, you got the tush push, you got the
can we just stop with trying to ban the tush push? Just stop it.
Like, who cares?
Quit being a baby about it and just go hammer down on your nose guard and then just go straight up with it. Like just go. Just stop it.
They're afraid to do what the Eagles are doing, pushing each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, because that'll leave them vulnerable to a big play. And that's like, well, that's where they got you. Good for them. They figured out a cheat code.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Patriots had a little bit of wiggle room. There's always going to be somebody who finds some sort of loophole. Like, that's just how it is.
Now, what I will take is they bringing back a rule saying that, okay, if you're going to keep the tush push in, we're also going to allow the middle linebackers and linebackers to push off of the defensive lineman for a PAT or field goal. And then that way they push off of them and jump over the line to get that extra leverage.
Dude, it's about player safety, Ed. Do you not care about player safety?
No, I care about winning the game.
It's about player safety. I know you don't care. Player safety. Anyways, so Tex, I mean, what are your thoughts of this rules that we listed off here? Favorite and least favorite?
My least favorite is that the elimination of first downs for defensive holding illegal contact did not pass. Need to start using some common sense. Those are game-changing plays, and I think that we need to have better rules around that because nobody wants to see 60-point games.
Probably whoever voted to table that also voted that the steak and chicken were not touching. So
yes.
Nope. Hey, I'm just mad because that's going to make J-Vice so mad. I mean, all these rules to help the Bills, per usual. The Bills didn't, they had to change the overtime rule because they'd lost in the playoffs at one time. They didn't get a first down this time, and now we got to change the first down rules. Ready? Like, I mean, overtime. I mean, what are we doing here? The kickoff rule. Hey, if they would have kicked it off and made it to the end zone, and Kansas City probably would have taken a knee and not beat them whenever they had 13. These are basically amend the rules so the Bills and Chiefs play every year in the playoffs. That's what
I do. I do like the overtime rule, though. I mean, I think that needed to be fixed.
Well, it still can end in a tie. Change that.
At least you got a chance at it, though.
Again, the tush push there. The other one was that the method for measuring first downs in the NFL was switched from chain gangs to the Skyhawk or whatever it's called.
And you know what the Skyhawk also said?
Hawkeye, maybe. Hawkeye.
You know what it said?
What?
Steak and chicken were touching.
No.
Proved by camera.
Nope. That was the Hawk 2 eye. It looked like it was spitting on it. That thing. His lips all buggered up.
Oh, wow.
I wish I had a button I could hit that would just put that picture back on the screen at any time. Just have it prepared. Be like, ooh, steak and chicken debate
you
right
have
here.
a board. All right. What else is next?
But anyway, so Tex, any thoughts on the chain gang? Travesty. Absolute travesty. They're using it in the UFL.
They're still going to be there. But
I mean, I hate it. I hate it.
Yes, dude. Of course they're going to. I mean, yes, they're going to be there, but it's it's like the umpires when the baseball thing takes over. Like they're going to be there, but they're not going to be any use. It's
But I've also seen a game where the chain gang came out. It was clearly short, and the ref was like, "First down." We're like, "What?" So, like, do they make that big of an impact on the game, anyways?
Do we trust AI to get this right, though? I mean, who's running this?
Prime example. As much as I hate the Carolina Gamecocks, I despise them. But the game where Clowney was playing, and they called it a turnover on downs,
where he knocked the guy's helmet off.
Yeah, and he came back and like it was blew through the line and knocked the running back's helmet off, and then picked up the fumble and all that. That was literally, they brought the chain gang out, and the ref was like, turnover on downs, and he clearly made it, or whatever it was like right there. It was clear evidence. I forget exactly how it was, but yeah, it was insane.
They're literally taking away one of the most exciting moments in sports. Like everybody's waiting with bated breath, watching the referees, and you're either waiting for or to go nuts. Like it's an awesome thing, man. It's an awesome thing, and they're taking it away.
We don't have many things anymore where we can be on the field and be like, man, maybe I could have done that one day. There's not much of that left. There's not much of that left. And they're taking it away from us. I can't be a computer. Sorry. I can be an old guy that runs out there and is like, me and the boys get together and just, hey, we're the chain gang. Like we could start a little NIL deal for ourselves.
We can all just go to a bar and just start measuring stuff and saying, no, we didn't the first down,
That's what these guys are going to be doing. It's going to be like a South Park episode where Stan's dad wanders around. Chains. Oh, my God. Chains. Just go. Oh, next time we're all together, we go out on the town. We just need to bring a mini set of chains and just start measuring everything.
I can bring some.
Oh my gosh!
Pounds.
And I guarantee you, the bar will go. It'll be electric. Whenever you measure, like, is the beer over the line or is it not? First down.
Yes. See? That's what they're taking from us. Oh, all right. And then I think the last one is the nose wipe celebrate. This is just hate speech against the 49ers because I'm pretty sure Deebo Samuel, they're getting rid of the nose wipe celebration. It's a 15-yard penalty.
It's against the Cowboys. CD Lamb, he started it. The Cowboys.
CD Lamb started that.
CD Lamb, dude. CD Lamb.
Yes.
Sorry, quick. Listen to AK. This is the 49ers. No, it's the Cowboys.
Yeah,
it's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
B. McCormick's here. Let's go.
Cowboys.
Skyhawk said, "Yeah, Allen wasn't over the line. Get out of here, dude."
That's
It was Deebo Samuel.
Right, Butch.
I'm probably gonna get roasted for that. By the way, I don't know who started, but if it's not Deebo Samuel,
it's not Deebo Samuel.
In the comments.
Okay. And then this one, I forgot what I had next, but I got two more. This one here. The NFL will allow teams to wear the throwback and alternate uniforms up to 4 times this season. So that's pretty cool. Good job. Good job, NFL. Because we like the Kelly Greens. We like the Denver Broncos are absolute filth. The 49ers, 94 uniforms are sick.
Bring the creamsicles for the Buccaneers.
Oh, yes. The Titans, I don't even know if they're going to wear them this year. Trash.
They ought not wear them.
So.
The Houston Oilers.
The Dolphins ones are sick. I like those. The Seahawks, those were filthy with the gray helmet. And I hate the Seahawks.
The gray helmet and the neon jerseys.
No, the blue jerseys.
No, the blue.
Oh, the blues, yeah.
Like the
That's a sick color combination, dude. Blue and green, that's a sick color combination.
Dude, we could just sit here and just ooh and ah, like, ooh, remember this jersey?
Football.
20 minutes. Just go, mm.
The only reason they're doing this though is so that they can start pushing more jersey sales out. So that's like, oh yeah, we can make revenue off this sale. Let's go ahead and bring it up. No more than 4 times up.
Smart.
I'm not mad at it. I'm just stating the fact. And of course, everybody is saying this one for all the T Swifties. They're saying that they are now America's team. The Cowboys are no longer relevant. And
Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
The Chiefs have requested
Chiefs
that they
are
make
pushing for Thanksgiving too.
But the Chiefs requested that the NFL make them a fixture on Christmas every year.
Clemson in your face, dude.
Dude, this is so Cowboys. Look at them. They're from Dallas originally, right?
Right now.
Shout out to the Chiefs for trying to that's good for them, right? I will say the only rule that really matters is how about you just move this is all smoke screen. How about you move the freaking Super Bowl to a Saturday?
Agreed.
How about that? How about you change? How about you all vote on that rule, you bunch of jabronis? I got a rule for you. They're all throwing smoke. Don't get the chain gang. Oh, no tush push. Here's the rule that everybody wants. It happens every year. Every time it comes around. Move it to a Saturday. Vote on it. 24 owners. Do it.
I bet if enough corporate businesses voted on it, it'd be moved just by the call outs that they have on the following Monday.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. On to the next one. Topic number 2. Coastal Carolina just announced that all concessions will be free at home football games. Fans can get up to 4 items per concession visit: hot dogs, nachos, popcorn, and fountain drinks. No limit on the number of in-game visits. This was the day before April Fool's, too. I had to go back and check and make sure I wasn't a complete idiot.
Save. Yeah, I did save that.
I was like, I'm not about to get got here, but if they got me, good for them. That's good.
So this could go 2 ways, though, right?
Go ahead.
One, it's either, Coastal used to be decent at football, where they were at least relevant in most conversations, and now they're just terrible. So they're just trying to get everybody back into the stadium, like as far as fans to support them. Versus App, will sit there and sell out a game on a Tuesday night and still pay full price for concessions. So that's why I said, hey, AK, why don't you make this meme? And of course, you left me hanging and you didn't. But it's okay. I thought you were going to put that slide up. It's all right. But it's also a
That's
baller.
What I was talking about earlier.
It's also a baller move by Coastal, by putting it out there and blasting it to all social media, nationally, and then saying everybody else, try to match it, which I think is what you were about to do with your next slide with the Falcons.
Yeah. Well, they did this because the Falcons were a case study. The Mercedes-Benz dropped its concession prices by 50%, and then the fans entered the stadium earlier and spent more money on higher ticket items like merchandise. And the Falcons got this idea from, shout out, the Masters. So this is an attempt to drive sales to a different part of this
or
machine.
Just get people in the stadium, period.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to, hey, take your kids there, free popcorn and nuts?
I get it. And then if you get there early, you let the players try to sign a ball or gloves or something like that,
Yeah.
So it's a smart move, don't get me wrong, but
or a chain.
Get your chain gang, your local chain gang, support them before they boot them off, before they banish them and relegate them back to the high school stuff. So any thoughts on that, Tex?
I think it's a good idea. Get people inside. Get people begging for merchandise. I mean, you get there and you spend $3-4 on a couple of drinks, then you're like, oh, I got some money left over, so why not spend it on a jersey?
Yeah, they're doing me a favor. It's like they love us.
What if also they had like free popcorn, nachos, all that, but their beer was like $20?
Now, on the flip side of that, lots of these concession stands are run by volunteers who are doing fundraising, so they get profit. They get a split of the profits. So I don't know how that's going to work with staffing.
That's a good point.
So there's a flip side to it too, and that's how it works at the Panther Stadium. Lots of those concession stands are run by a nonprofit or a local high school trying to raise money for their swim team or whatnot.
So you're saying Coastal Carolina hates volunteers?
Yeah.
Trying to make cash for weekend deals.
I'm just saying it's cool and it's great, but it might adversely affect.
Well, maybe probably
volunteers.
those volunteers and nonprofits will just get a cut of NIL money now.
How would that work at the Tennessee stadium? The volunteers, they're all volunteers. Everybody in the stadium. That's a good question. Shout out Coastal Innovators.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Final segments. Final headline.
Yeah.
Men's Frozen Four, boys. St. Louis, April 10th and 12th. That is, what is that? Is that next week?
Bro, no. Masters Day, Thursday.
What a great day then. You go down, you get the Masters. As soon as that ends, boom. Right into the Final Four, or right into the Frozen Four, baby. Now, that's a day of sports. And then on the 12th, same thing. That ends, you got the Frozen Four championship. I love this.
Oh,
so we got Boston.
Moving day, right?
I love it. Boston, Penn State, Denver, Western Michigan.
Yep.
The bracket, this is how they got there. We had Denver beat Boston College, the number 1 seed. We had Western Michigan, the number 4 seed, beat UMass. We had Penn State upset Maine and then beat UConn, which was incredible. That was a great game. Wild that Penn State is in the Frozen Four.
Yeah, no joke.
And then Boston beats Cornell after Cornell beat Michigan State, who was the number 2 seed. So the number 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3 gone. This is parity, baby. Now the threat is that NIL might ruin college hockey too, but hopefully not. And all the Big Ten schools will then dominate everything. But hopefully that doesn't happen. So we got Penn State, Boston, Western Michigan, Denver, all with a chance to etch their name. And apparently Denver's got an absolutely nasty goalie. So I'm excited to watch him. Here is the final 4 seeds are the number 1, 2, and 3 top 4 seeds. The Frozen 4 seeds are the number 4 overall seed, 7 overall seed, 9 overall seed, 14 overall seed. College hockey. That's in hockey, even in college, hockey's better. Just like the NHL playoffs are better than the NBA playoffs. Any thoughts on this?
Wait, what? The final 4 seeds of what?
The top 4 seeds in the country. They're all 1 seeds, but they're the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, as the ranking?
Yeah, like they're the top 4 seeds in the country. The final 4. They're all number 1, but they're slated 1 through 4.
And then these are what they were ranked in the country.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was like, dude, all the number 1 seeds made the final 4.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I get you now.
Tex, thoughts?
Go Broncos.
I can't root for Penn State.
Are you calling it now?
Not doing it either. Broncos.
Denver because I was a goalie, so shout out to the hottest goalie in the tournament, Denver. DU. Butch.
I don't know.
Well, while Butch is thinking, I do think that the Penn State helmets are awesome because they look just like the football helmets. They got the blue stripe down the middle. Those look sick.
Love that.
Who's beat?
Boston Terriers, dude.
Can't do it. Nothing. Boston.
Come on, dude. Let's DU. Let's do it together.
Yeah, DU, man.
Let's go.
The first 2 letters right there. Let's go.
B. McCormick's with us too.
Denver.
Let's go. Right. John Denver on my shoulders.
I forgot
what movie that is.
Let's go.
That was Super Troopers, wasn't it? Anything else, boys? Quick, how dare you? How dare you to the Nintendo Switch and Mario Kart? I just bought a Switch and Mario Kart for my son and our family. And now they're coming out with a Switch 2 and a new Mario Kart. This is BS. This is garbage, dude.
Put it in there like you bought it for your son. Yeah, bull malarkey.
I do that. It's for our family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family.
And knowing Darren well, he's going to come up and say, "Hey, Dad, can you help me?" Yeah, absolutely. 4 hours later, you're over there locked in still.
Look at him.
He's up there in the corner crying because Dad won't let me play.
Yeah.
Can you beat Uncle Lee? Oh, yeah, I smoke him every time. He thinks I'm the greatest Mario Kart racer.
You can't. No, you can't.
Oh, when you crank
no, you can't.
Last time we played, you got smoked. CC, you weren't even seeing my taillights, pal. Of course, you can win on 100 cc. All right. Anything else on all those notes, boys? That was kind of rapid fire. Anything else?
I'm good.
Okay.
Dive into golf.
Yeah. No. We're gonna do the. I'm gonna get us all out of here. This has been a good episode, a quick episode. That goes by fast, boys. Check us out on all the socials and enjoy the Michael Kim interview, everybody. And we'll see you Sunday. Everybody good?
See you Sunday.
All right.
Go Tigers.
All right.
The Masters.
All right. Let me get this thing on here. I got to share the screen. I had to do all this really, really, really quickly, which I was not really prepared to do.
We still live?
We're still live, yeah. Now I've lost the dang it. I lost the
All right.
The video, boys. Where'd it go? There it is.
Oh no.
Oh no. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. I got it now. All right. Everybody, shh. Now we're out of here. Enjoy the Michael Kim. gentlemen, this is a very special guest. 12th in the FedEx rankings, 50th in the official Golf World rankings. Absolutely electric factory to start the season, to get to where he's at right now. 2018 winner of the John Deere Classic, 3 top 10s so far in his 2025 season from Cal Berkeley. Also maybe a Texas guy from what I've read. 162nd at the Waste Management is where he started, to top 50 within a matter of like 2 months. Absolutely on fire. He's played every event since the Waste Management. That's 8 straight. Tied for 13th or better in 5 of those events. It is Mike Kim.
Whichever you prefer.
What do you
Money Mike. How about
Mike.
that?
Magic Mike.
Yes.
Perfect.
MK, Michael Kors.
Right.
How's it going?
How are you doing, man? I know you're going through a lot, right? Like, I mean, just everything that we just listed off, you have been on an absolute heater for about 2 months, and it has been awesome to watch. We've been following it, and it's you. I mean, first question: what are you doing April 10th and 13th? We were thinking about doing a foursome. Do you want to play with us?
We'll see. We'll see if the schedule works out a little bit. I'm gonna be at this little weird town called Augusta, but
yeah,
I might be busy. It might not be. Who knows?
Dude,
we'll take the rain check this time.
Congratulations. I mean, that had to feel just watching everything that happened, and then after the tournament, correct? I mean, right there with the Houston Open. So, I mean, tell us, like, you were on a meteor, and now you're in. And I mean, tell us, like, we were kind of talking a little bit before, kind of when things started to kind of take hold and the realization. So go ahead and walk us through, like you were doing a second ago.
Yeah, like heading into the week, I knew if I had probably like a top 20, top 25, I was gonna be pretty good for the Masters. I mean, it's the only reason why I played 8 in a row. I was probably going to take, after Players, I was going to take at least a couple weeks off. But, so I had a decent chance with 2 weeks to go to make it to the Masters via top 50 world ranking. And so decided to play. And then, I got really pretty lucky at Valspar. Neil Shipley, my guy,
Yes,
made a bogey on his last hole to push the cut one back. I had a solid weekend, got like a top 30. Figured I needed like a top 20 or a top 25 to really lock it in, lock in that Masters spot. Played well, played pretty solid the entire week. Made the cut. To be honest, I don't even remember what I shot, but I think I made the cut, somewhat comfortably. Had a good Saturday, and then, on Sunday, big leading into the week, I kind of kept telling myself like, hey, like if I get in, great. If I play well, great. If not, it's like I get another week off. I've had a long stretch, get 2 weeks off in a row, and get ready for the RBC and whatnot. And you try and tell yourself that like it's not as big of a deal, but your brain's really smart. It kind of knows. You can't fool your own brain. And so I made birdie on 10. I made birdie on 12, and at that point I knew I saw the leaderboard as a leaderboard right on 12, and I think I was like tied for 16th or 15th or something like that. And like, from here on, the wind was starting to pick up as well. So I knew like just some pars, coming in, but there's some tricky tee shots. And so made some pretty nervy, like really guidey swings, just trying not to hit into the hazard really on 16 and 17. Made a couple bad bogeys on 15 and 17. And so, and then, actually on 18, I knew I had a cracked driver
Oh yes, I was going to ask you about
I knew
that.
I had a cracked driver starting. I don't remember exactly what hole, but I knew I had a cracked driver, but it wasn't too bad. And so I had hit a really poor tee shot on 17. It like kind of nosedived really badly, and I felt like I didn't make like the best of swing, um, but like that ball flew weird. So I'm on 18 tee, and I wanted to call an official, so I called an official, and he took like legitimately 25 minutes to get there, and I'm kind of like, all right, it's legitimately one hole left, and the 18 fairway is. The fairway itself is like 40 yards wide, but the playable area is like even wider. It's like 60 yards wide, and I'm kind of debating like this is so stupid. Like, do I just hit, or I've been playing with the cracked drive for however many holes. So I feel like I can get it in play at least.
Yeah.
He shows up like 25 minutes later, and he's like, well, like I'm not sure, and whatnot. I was like, I'm just gonna hit it, whatever. Hit a decent drive up there.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, thanks for showing
like-
up. So I hit a decent drive up there, kind of on the right rough. I hit a decent 8-iron to the back of the green. I hit a decent putt to like 6-7 feet, and kind of thinking like man, if I miss this, like I already bogeyed 17, and if I miss this, like I really don't know if I'm gonna get it to the Masters. But I read it. It was downhill. I thought it was going to break at least a little bit to the left, played it right edge, hit it pretty soft. Halfway there, I was pretty confident that I was pretty sure that I missed it, because I was expecting the break to be early, not late. So halfway there, when it didn't go left, I was like, oh, it's not going to break late kind of thing. But it somehow just barely catches the lip, goes in, and then at that point, I still don't know if I'm in or not. I was like, I don't know. We'll see. Sign my scorecard. I'm just checking Twitter for that OWGR guru guy.
Yep,
Like,
I was following along. I was
he's
watching
following
right there with
along.
you,
He's
man.
like, it's not giving me any good answers. Ben Griffin hits it to like 4 feet on 8, or his 17th hole, and he misses that one, but then just hits an awesome iron shot on 9. Makes birdie, and I'm kind of like, man, is that might push him over the edge and whatnot. And yeah, and at the end it worked out, luckily for me, and not for Ben. But now I'm here just trying to get ready for the Masters.
Yes. That's
maybe you can send him a meal next week when he's at home and you're
him
in Augusta.
and Neil Shipley. I have to give him some.
You owe him
Give
dinner.
them both some nice gifts.
It's crazy, like the butterfly effect or whatever that all goes into that, where it's like, because it was like percentage, like percentage points, like 0.00 percentage points that were jockeying back and forth, wasn't it?
Yeah, like it's I think it's like it was like 0.01 or 0.001. That's divided in 52 different weeks, or however many max divisors, but that's over a 2-year stretch. So even if you divide it, it's just tiniest of margins. It's not even a shot. So
it's like the old BCS rankings.
That's right. It's crazy how it all worked out. But I'm glad it worked out in my favor.
Was it a 4-iron too that you were having issues? I remember reading some of that too.
Yeah. So, on the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. On 4, I hit it right into the fairway, into the kind of their rough. It was like basically a first cut.
Yeah.
And I hit this 4-iron, and it went like way right, way spinny.
That was probably my 4-iron then.
It took off weird, so I was like, man, I must have made a really bad swing. But then on the 8th hole, the 7th hole is a par 3. It was playing long, is pretty hard into the wind, and wanted to hit 4-iron, and one of the grooves looked kind of dark. It kind of looked dirty, so I was like, oh, it must be dirty. So I was going over to clean it, and then I realized it wasn't dirt. It was like a visible crack amongst one of the grooves.
Ah,
And so I was like, is that a crack? I was like, I think that's a crack. And so I ended up not hitting the 4-iron and hitting the 7-wood, hitting my 7-wood kind of really smooth instead. And then Tidal has sent me over a 4-iron, just overnighted as soon as possible. But I was the afternoon morning wave, so it got to the golf course at like 10, and I could have used it on the back 9, but I didn't want to hit a club that I hadn't. I mean, it's the same exact spec as my 4-iron, but I still didn't really want to hit it before.
no, I understand. I get
Ever
it, man.
hitting it on the range at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had like this backup 3-iron that I had that I sometimes replace with my 7-wood here once in a while. But I didn't actually really need it at all the second round. So I hit it a few times on the Friday after the round. Then I actually used it on my first shot Saturday morning. And then kind of went from there. So 2 cracked clubs for the week for me.
So that's destiny right there, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if you can overcome that.
Dealt with adversity.
I was sitting here thinking like they're gonna have to get him one of those torpedo bats, like drivers, like you know what I mean? Like the Yankees are using now.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take whatever I can get. If the Masters lets me use a better driver, I'll gladly use it.
If they start, then sign me up. I mean, I definitely need that. Other than moving my head 1,000 ways.
Okay, so from Cal, but now in Texas, correct? Is that?
I live in Dallas now. Yeah.
Okay. So here's
Cowboys fan?
No, that's what I was getting ready to get into.
Sir.
We got to clear up the air about some of the other sports here. Are you a football fan?
I am. I don't know if I'm a big Chargers fan, but I'm a decent Chargers fan. I grew up in San Diego.
Okay.
When
they were there,
when they went to LA, Pat Perez, actually, funny enough, like convinced me that I shouldn't root for the Chargers. And for like 3 or 4 months, I kind of believed them. I was like, yeah, they left San Diego.
They left you, man.
They left me.
You didn't
and
leave
I was
them.
living in Dallas at the time, so I was like, I might as well root for the Cowboys. Like, what other team am I gonna root for? And then I remember distinctly, I was at some bar watching a Monday night football game between the Chiefs and the Chargers, and my heart was just rooting so hard for the Chargers. I was like, my heart's still with the Chargers. They're in LA. I'm like, whatever, that's close enough. So I'm,
they didn't go far.
Still a Chargers fan.
So is Justin Herbert the guy then?
Justin Herbert is so the guy. You know, all the Justin Herbert haters.
We debate him on our show.
He is the man. He is our guy.
J-Vi is an AFC guy. He's a Bills fan, so he's got the whole Josh Allen thing going, right? I'm a 49ers guy. Now I live in North Carolina, but don't ask me how I became a 49ers fan because we didn't have football in North Carolina whenever I was little. So I'm a 49ers guy, oddly enough. And then Butch P down there is a Cowboys fan. So Herbert's not a threat. I mean, I feel bad for you because he's in the same division as Pat Mahomes for the next 10 years, but
we have a quarterback signed. I mean, at least we do have that thing going for us.
Harbaugh's a good coach too.
I love Harbaugh. Love Harbaugh.
Have you met him?
I have not met him.
He's an interesting character. He is who he portrays too.
I have heard.
Okay, so we got the Chargers. I mean, we're not Justin Herbert haters. We got him in our top 5 or top 10 typically. We're not. Obviously, Purdy's at 1. Josh Allen can be at 2. Mahomes at 3.
Not at 1.
Purdy's at. What do you mean?
Purdy's not number 1.
So, all right, now, so we got the football thing. Any baseball allegiances before we?
I'm not the biggest baseball fan. Obviously, the Padres are the baseball team that I should root for.
They're off to a good start.
They were so bad when I was growing up in San Diego, like so bad. And I went to some baseball games when I was young. They got destroyed by some other team. It was boring, and was sitting from like way up top, and I was like, I'm good. So I mean, if I'm like the most fair weather's Padres fan, you can imagine. I bet they've been. I mean, they've obviously been way better recently, but I'm not like the biggest baseball guy in the first place. So
What about college football?
I love the days of Tony Gwynn and Steve Finley.
There you go.
yeah, I mean that's a little bit before my time, but I mean college football. I mean, Cal's not not exactly a ACC powerhouse these days.
I was getting ready to ask. The
so
next
weird.
question was,
So, you know, and when the first 2 years that I was at Cal, I believe we had like 2 total wins or 3 total wins, and they were all against Division II schools that like we paid to play.
Were you there with Golf?
So I was there with Golf, but the first year he got his butt kicked.
Yeah.
Like
I worked on a documentary that we followed Cal, Golf, and Sonny Dykes first year, and they won one game.
You literally couldn't be polar opposites.
Yeah.
We were winning everything and they were losing everything. And then I think that my third year, I was only there for a semester. They were a little bit better, or they were much better that third year. So I definitely root for Jared Goff. I guess if the Lions did well, I mean, I guess maybe I would root for them towards the end. But you know, they've Cal football has kind of traumatized me in a way that I just have zero hope for them going forward, especially with the NIL era.
Well,
it's not like they're flush with cash. So
ACC, like it's the whole going to the ACC thing is just, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to make of college sports, college football at all. I mean, you look at the Final Four. I mean, it's all the number 1 seeds. Like everything's all over the place. I don't understand it. This whole realignment of stuff. Like I'm the biggest SEC hater of all time. I don't mind the ACC, but actually I'm not. No, I respect the SEC. It's kind of like my views on
you
Matt
played
Stafford,
your ACC card last time.
Hey, look, I'm go ACC. I'm right there with you, man. But so are you more in the Pac-12? Or are you just happy that they're in the ACC? I mean, were you sad? Was it kind of like the Chargers?
Well, when SC and LA went to the Big Ten, I was like, oh my gosh, like what is Cal and Stanford, or what is Cal going to do? Are they going to be stuck with the Pac-4, Pac-6, whatever? So I was actually kind of glad that they moved to the ACC to at least some respectable conference that is something. But it's just laughable at this point, and I think we're all just waiting for some type of realignment or however they want to do
super
it.
major.
Yeah, Pac-12's coming back.
That's right. The Pac is back. I don't think Cal's gonna be joining. So like in college and that sort of thing, Max Homa went there as well too, right? Like you guys were teammates.
Yeah, we're teammates for 2 years. Yeah,
fantastic. And I mean, like, I guess the most obvious question is like, when did you guys know that it was like, all right, PGAs are, because you got started fairly early, back, what was it, 2013?
Yeah. So my freshman year, we're all pretty young. Max was the only junior, and we had a couple redshirt sophomores, but Max was the oldest guy on our top, and I don't remember exactly where we finished, but we played really well my freshman year, and we kind of overexceeded our expectations for the year. And then my sophomore year, we did really well. I mean, we had 3 first-team All-Americans, 2 second-team All-Americans as our top 5. And I think that's when we we all collectively kind of thought we definitely have a chance to go to the next step and turn pro. I think we all have everyone has dreams of playing on the PGA Tour, but then we felt like we were really making strides towards that. And I think for me, I qualified for the U.S. Open that year in 2013 at Marion. I played really well, and I think after that tournament, it was when I fully believed okay, I'm definitely turning pro at some point. I don't know when. I'm definitely turning pro, and really want to give this a real go. Because I mean, to Cal when I was when I committed and went to Cal, it wasn't as didn't have a perfect plan of I'm definitely going to turn pro. One of the reasons why I picked Cal is because they're really have a really good good education, and if the golf thing doesn't work out, then I probably have something to kind of fall back on, and that's one of the reasons why I picked Cal in the first place. So after the U.S. Open was kind of when I first really believed that I might be able to do this as a pro.
Dude, that had to be wild. Just being like, yeah,
well, it's like when it clicks, you knew. Then you can work even harder. But my question about Cal though was, I'm sure you've probably been asked this before, but do they have how to run your Twitter account that you and Max took? Because I mean, between the two of you, you just you guys put on clinics on how to run your Twitter account as a PGA player.
I think well, to answer your question, no, there's no
I know West Coast usually gets things better, faster than us East Coasters. So
there's a lot of classes and interesting classes at Cal. As far as I know, there aren't any classes, but it's not like the bar is set incredibly high, to be honest, amongst my fellow PGA Tour pros. It's a lot of happy to finish here at the Houston Texas Children's Houston Open. Excited for next week. Picture of my golf swing.
Yep.
It's not like the bar was super high.
The kind of statements.
And so, and Max, who's obviously very witty and smart, he obviously didn't know when he did it as a joke, I'm sure, to start, and it kind of blew up with the whole roasting the swing,
mm-hmm.
and he's taken full advantage. No one Max could be Max or me, we could be witty or smart or whatever, but if you don't translate that to real success on the golf course, at the end of the day, our tweets don't mean nearly as much to others.
Right.
And Max has really obviously backed it up with wins and really high finishes that made those tweets even better. And so it all kind of combined to a nice whatever that is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yours are really interesting when you read them, because you're like, here's my thoughts, and it's just like an honest opinion of, hey, this is inside the mind of a golfer. People are fascinated. I mean, I'm fascinated by that whenever I read it. And one of the big ones was this is how many miles I've traveled and what I've spent and all that. Those things are captivating. Because everybody walks around and be like, oh, my buddy's a scratch golfer, he could probably make the tour. And it's you watch Billy Horschel hit a left-handed wedge for 130 and put it 20 feet from the pin. It's you're not doing
and it looked like he could play left-handed.
Come on. Yeah,
I can't even pick my nose left-handed, much less play left-handed.
Prove it.
Yeah, with stuff like that, I think a part of it is with I was genuinely surprised at how well received, I don't want to say it this way, but how many people liked Full Swing. To me, it's everyday life stuff for me, right? It's, golf isn't the most popular sport. If someone wanted to see the inside the life of Steph Curry, hell yeah, I want to watch that. But if it's inside the life of me or whoever golfer, I figured it might not be as interesting, but a lot more people liked it than I thought. You see even like Joel Damon, like, I really like Joel, but the fandom he got from that was pretty eye-opening, and it just seemed like every one of those kind of sports documentaries, or however you want to call them, like they all want more detailed, more inside the ropes, not as much kind of the PC answers all the time. Because podcasts and all that, like fans are smarter than ever before, right?
Mhm.
Like
Access to everything, like
access to everything, and they don't want kind of outside layer that everyone can see. They would rather see the what it feels like, or what I'm thinking of, whatever the inside the rope feel that I can share is what really people want to see and hear now. And I felt like I was, among other things, I was comfortable sharing some of my thoughts and whatnot. And yeah, as I started doing this, I think I decided to really go put my more attention on Twitter for the last 2 or 3 years now, kind of see what people liked and see what people didn't like, and kind of go through that. And yeah, I guess it's just trying to pick up on things that people want to hear and share what I at least can and feel comfortable sharing.
love it. I mean, that's people they're piling in here. Michael Kim's in the house. I mean, you got people they're just everywhere. We got.
I think you're right though when it comes to documentaries and show, because I do work in that world, and there's a lot of times that I see stuff and I just I think it's crap. I don't think it's very good, but people love it because of the access, and you giving them that access, even if they're just reading it from your Twitter, is great, because that's what people want. They just want the access. They don't care if it looks good, if it's a blurry picture or whatever. They don't, as long as they get the access or feel like they're getting the access, they're gonna love it.
I think sometimes we want to show only the cool sides, the awesome sides of our life, whether it's like flying private or the Instagram stuff, or like whatever,
everything
this
looks like
and
it's
that. But
doctored or it's edited or
I
whatever.
think everyone appreciates the 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 human brain works in similar ways for everyone. And even though we might look super confident over the ball, like like we are just as nervous, if not more nervous, over this shot, and more anxious, more worried about where this ball might go, and stuff like that. Like, whereas sometimes before, I feel like it's like you're not supposed to show any weakness, and you're not supposed to show any of those kind of emotions. You're strong, and you're strong-willed, and all that. But
Yeah, how dare you?
it's not nearly like that. And kind of through my up and down PGA Tour pro career, like I felt like it would be good to kind of hear some of the thoughts that I go through on a weekly basis, and tell people, like, no, like, I am currently the 50th best golf.
Damn right.
In some rankings, I am currently the 50th best golfer in the entire world. But
Yeah, too
I
bad.
will show up on one tee
That's
next
wild.
Thursday on the Masters. Just
Boots are shaking.
I don't want to curse, but like, just nervous out of nervous out of my mind, just hoping this ball will somehow find some type of grass
But that's what
I'm
goes into the
sure.
preparation, though, like making sure everything's just as much muscle memory as you can so that your brain doesn't get in the way, I'm sure. Like, and I would love to, like you said, you're up in like this year has been like, is there anything that's been different that you've done, or is it just things are, I don't want to be that guy who's like, hey, after the round, like what worked for you out there? Like,
No, I've gotten a lot of questions of like, hey, what's changed? Like, you're playing even better than before. And I like to equate it to like, it's like a big long boil almost of, if you're making like a good stew, like it's like a low simmer, low,
Mhm.
and it takes a while for certain ingredients to really boil into kind of the flavor that you want. And starting last fall at Vegas in like, what was that, like October, November or something. I needed to play well to keep my card. And Sean Foley and I, who's been my coach for the last, I think 4 years, something like that, 4 years now, we've been working on a lot of the same things and kind of building towards something. But then there's always, tweaks here and there that you make, and it's just like anything. There's, even with a guy like Sean who's taught literally Tiger Woods to me when I was couldn't hit a ball straight to save my life as a pro golfer. You make adjustments here and there, and we made kind of the adjustments, especially off the tee for me, that kind of clicked in, and we kind of more went along that path more and more, and yeah, just like a slow boil, and it's kind of finally come to a nice temperature, I guess, to
Time to
make the
eat.
analogy. Correct.
Love it.
Some pimento cheese sandwiches.
Still $2.
Speaking of that, so the Masters, when this Masters week, I don't, just like at work, it feels different for me. Like I'm treating patients, and the Masters, I'm like, can we please get like, what are we doing here? We got to have the green is different, right? I mean, just the grass, everything is crazy, and it's like when you're not. I mean, this is your second time, right? This is your second time, so when you're not there, are you like us and just being like, this is crazy watching this on TV? It's the Masters, or like, are you?
It's not like crazy, like, man, like I wish I was there. It's more like that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I've hit that. I've hit that shot. Like, or I'm if a guy's over that, it's like, man, that's a tough shot. And like, man, or like he hits a good one. Like, wow, that was a nice shot that guy hit just there. Or like, like how is that guy in that spot? Kind of thing too. But it's I mean, as a competitor, there's a bunch of different emotions of like, I definitely want to be there. It's like, when will I be there? Like, how close am I? It's kind of like a bit more of an emotional thing for me, I guess.
Yeah.
If I'm just watching at home, and at the same time, like, some of my closest friends are competing at the Masters, so I'm rooting for them to win. If a guy like Colin or Max, two Cal guys, and if they're doing well, Max and Colin both played well last year, and so I'm rooting hard for them. And I think it'd be great if Rory finally got that. I don't even know if it's a gorilla. It's like King Kong on his back at this point. And so, if I'm not playing, I hope he finally gets it done, because he's obviously kind of the main spokesperson for this for the PGA Tour and for the game, and a genuinely nice guy. So just kind of maybe rooting for him. And so there's a lot of different emotions that go on, I would say, watching the Masters for me.
Now, do you call those guys up, your Cal guys, and lean on them, for, hey, what, do I need to pack an extra pair or whatever this week because it's Augusta? What do you lean on anybody for that? Is it them? Who is it?
I did once I got in, I did text Charlie Hoffman. He's a San Diego guy, and I played a decent amount of golf with him over the off season because I spent my winter of the year this year in San Diego. And he's played Augusta pretty well over the years, so kind of wanted to pick his brain on a couple things. And as at the end of the day, like, course knowledge is a big deal, but the biggest deal is like me executing the shots. And so, yeah, like, there's certain things that you'd like to pick up on. But at the end of the day, I need to kind of focus more on how to sharpen my game at the most as best possible. And then the course knowledge, the where to hit it, where to miss it. I mean, everyone knows where to hit it. Like that's not the issue. It's like if you're not in the fairway, if you're in the weeds, or if you're not comfortable, where can you miss it to certain pins? That's probably the biggest thing. And those are probably things that I'm trying to pick up on. And the Masters, it's like everyone has seen the golf course on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Every
for so long, like 12 back right pin, just hit it over the bunker, like
I was yelling at the screen, like, why'd you hit it over there? What are you
I
doing?
mean, so 11, like don't go into the water. Like it's course knowledge. It's not rocket science. Like you just gotta hit the shots when you need them. And I feel like that's more than anything, it's what it comes down to.
It's not easy.
Do you still? So we're big group chat guys. Like we have for this whole podcast and thing we do. We have a group chat that goes off. Is there group? Are there group chats? You don't have to divulge who's on the group chats, but you group chat guy, like where the group chat gets popping with jokes and memes and that sort of thing. No?
I have a fantasy. I have a Cal fantasy football group chat. I have a group chat amongst kind of my close team, kind of like agent, manager, stuff like that. I used to have a group chat with my physio, but my physio didn't retire, but took a different job to work with the Dallas Stars. So there used to be a group chat with a lot of other, with some other tour pros and him, just in that physio group. But other than that, I'm not. I don't think I'm the biggest group chat guy, I would say.
Okay, because we have an argument that we get into on this group chat. We literally we'll just argue about stuff pretty much all day long with each other, and so there's some stuff that has come up that we're gonna ask your opinion, and an unbiased opinion on a thing or two. They're silly debates. It's like there's nothing.
We have to settle this once and for all.
It's a grill debate. It's a grill debate that is, But anyways, okay. So the only other thing, I saw that your Kobe, MJ, Aaron Rodgers are your top three kind of favorite athletes. Aaron Rodgers,
Cal guy.
That must have been a pretty long time ago.
I was.
Marshawn Lynch isn't on that list.
Has there been any? Has there been a shakeup in the rankings?
It's a good point.
Aaron Rodgers is, man, he's having quite an off season.
He's having quite an off.
Every year.
And I hate the Steelers for one, so that automatically drops him off the list. I would say Kobe is still one.
Okay.
I'm assuming I'm thinking like non-golfers, because I guess Tiger would be number one regardless. So we'll take out golfers.
Okay.
I would say Kobe one. I would say
Brock Purdy 2. Got it.
Just gonna let that go. You know what?
I'm gonna throw it in there.
Hilarious. Kobe 1. I'm gonna say, man, I feel like I'm forgetting so many names.
That's okay.
We're gonna leave 2 blank. I feel like I'm forgetting that. And 3, just because it's the new shiny toy, it's got to be Luka Doncic.
Are you a big basketball guy?
I'm see, it's funny. I love the drama in the NBA. Like, I listen to podcasts all about the NBA trade drama and all that. I love the kind of the trade rumor, trade gossip stuff, but I don't really watch a ton of basketball until the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's when they start playing. I mean, I don't blame you. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you cannot.
I would say, you know what? I would say 1 Kobe, 2 Luka, 3 Steph Curry. That's a lot of basketball. No, that's a lot of basketball. I like football
it's your
more than
list.
basketball.
You want to throw Brock Purdy in there? That's fine. Put him in there.
He might be a Stafford guy. Well, no, he's a Herbert guy. So
Herbert.
We did have a question too. There was a question that somebody asked. It was a golf related question. He said, "Would love to hear if Michael thinks Scotty will be the world number 1 at the end of the season."
1,000%.
Yes.
And he said, "Your rookie of the year, is it Clanton? Is it pretty much a lock for Clanton?"
Does Clanton count? That's kind of cheating, no?
I don't know.
I don't. Who are the rookies?
I don't know.
Sorry, I don't. Dude, like so. So last year at RSM on Saturday, I played with Michael Thorbjornsen and Luke Clanton, and like because I left college early, turned pro early, and I got on tour fairly early. Like I turned pro in 2014, so this is my 11th year as a pro. But I'm 32, so I don't feel like super old.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was babysitting. Like not that they were like doing anything childish, but I felt like I was babysitting these 2 kids. And then like Sunday,
guys being dudes,
huh?
So they're just guys being dudes, you know.
Yeah, and then on Sunday I played with Stuart Sink, and like Stuart, I played with Stuart for a while, so I'm kind of like, wow, I'm thoroughly in the veteran category.
He's probably like, I'm over here babysitting this dude.
Like, you know, like I like their guys, I like their caddies, but like their caddies were kind of inexperienced at the time, and you know, if I'm in the bunker, and my caddy's raking the bunker, like another caddy is supposed to come and kind of help clean your ball on the green, kind of help out so my caddy doesn't he doesn't have to rake the bunker and run to the green and clean my ball. And then so I marked my ball and I looked around and the caddies were just way off to the side doing nothing. And so and then I went over to one of the golf bags I saw nearby, went to the towel just to clean it myself, and the towel was dry. So I was like, what are we doing here? And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, the caddies kind of, it's like supposed to help each other out a little bit. If a guy's if a guy's, you know, raking the bunker.
That's why it's the gentleman game, right?
Yeah. And so I was kind of like, I mean, what are we doing here? And then Sunday,
teachable moment.
Yeah, Sunday played with a couple of veterans, and I was like, felt way more comfortable.
Now, do they have a caddy school? Like you guys have Q school. Do they have a caddy school at all? Are they just like, here you go, here's the bag?
It's kind of just, here you go, here's the bag. I think if you're, it's probably less now, but if you're kind of like there are veteran caddies, and if a caddy in the same group makes a mistake, I'm sure the veteran caddy kind of puts his arm around him like, hey bud, you need to do do this instead. But
gotta try this next time.
Yeah, but there's no caddy school.
Okay, we got another one. Love the Steelers hate. That's people. Now that's a Chiefs fan. Don't let that guy fool you. He's not absolved of any wrongdoing. He's a Chiefs fan, so we got to let him slide. He's having the time of his life right now with all these Super Bowls that they keep winding themselves up in somehow. Okay. All right. So now I don't think there was anything else that I had to. I mean, I'm excited about the Masters for you. Are you going to do anything with the food there? I mean, I know the menu is always the same thing. I mean, you probably have your own regimen.
The first time I went there in 19, whether it was because I was playing so bad and I had a lot of things going in my mind, like I didn't take my time to enjoy some of the other, just being a Masters participant or just being at the Masters. So I hadn't tried any of the sandwiches in 19. So this year I'm absolutely going to try the pimento cheese. I guess they have this new tomato pie thing.
I saw that. I wasn't sure if that was an April Fool's thing.
The peach ice cream. I'll
good.
just take a day and just fully go hard on those concession stands. So
yeah,
looking forward to it.
You absolutely
Tomato
should.
pie is delicious, by the way.
Isn't that just a pizza or a calzone? Why don't they just
it looked like a calzone. It looked like a calzone. Yeah, it looked like a calzone. But hey,
I gotta see this. I haven't seen this yet.
You haven't? It's basically, it's like a Totino's Hot Pocket with it.
It just looked like a mini calzone.
There you go.
To me,
with just tomatoes in it.
Okay, that's not what I'm thinking of then.
Something.
Maybe they took a pizza and folded it in half. Calzone.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we have a bunch of we wrote down a bunch of questions, right? And these questions, if you ever listen to our show, we operate in a very just kind of, we like to have, we have fun, we're satirical, kind of comedic, informative, whatever you want to call it. And so, we do these things like the serious for realsies questions, or we have that debate that we're going to talk about. But so we're going to go around the horn here and snap it around a little bit and just ask a question after, here for a few minutes. Just some questions that pop into my head. We say, all right, we're interviewing Mike Kim. Here's what I want to know. Okay, I'm going to go first. Okay, this is when we get into the golf questions here. What kind of scorecard style do you want, or do you particularly use? Because I'm a guy who likes to go +1 on my card, or like -1. I don't write the actual score of the hole. I write like if I make a bogey or a triple bogey.
I did that when I was like.
He likes
9 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, you can dunk on me. It's fine. It's part of the show.
Okay. It's okay. That's what I did.
I think it's easier to add.
The PGA Tour, we write full numbers of 4, 5, 2, 3, and 6, or whatever. But hey, it's your scorecard. You can do however way you'd like. The PGA Tour only accepts what you actually made. And do that. So, hey, but it's your scorecard. So I will not tell anyone how to do their own scorecard.
Do you have to box it and circle? Do you have to?
Some guys do that. Most don't. They just write the numbers. Yeah. Some
you
put.
Can see that
I remember some put dots for birdies.
There we go. Who are
for,
those guys?
For their and whoever score they're keeping, which is, I guess, cool. But I just write numbers, whatever you made.
That would be the hardest part for me, is trying to remember what the other guy got on the hole. Because I'm obviously not as good of golfer as you are, but I have to go back and like 1, 2.
I'm going to guess that my playing partners don't go past a certain number most of the time, so it might be a little easier. Usually it's a 3, 4, or 5. Honestly, some guys just give it to their caddies, and their caddies just write it down. So
I try not to go over par. Yeah. Like once I go past par, that's it. That's what I get on the hole.
Great, perfect.
No, I do the +1, +2 because it's just easier to my. I don't know why I can add those numbers, but I can't add the regular numbers. I don't know. It's just the way I've been doing it. I don't get it.
Totally fine. Like I said, totally fine.
That's like I don't know where I read these stories from. I might have read it from your account, but I did hear one time Arnold Palmer would always tell everybody he shot par, and he technically would, because whatever par the hole was, when he hit that many shots, he would just pick the ball up and then go to the next hole. So he would always say that he just shot par because he would take as many shots as however it was that hole was, and then he'd go.
When you're Arnold Palmer, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want.
The drink named after him. Crazy. I'm not a big Arnold Palmer drink guy either. I don't like the lemonade in my tea. I don't know. Are you? You like Arnold Palmer?
I like Arnold Palmer. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just all right. Anyway, all right, J-Bot, did you have a?
Well, see, I think too, being an East Coaster, Southeast, and having sweet tea, if you go out west, they don't have sweet tea. So doing an Arnold Palmer is a way to get a little bit of sweetener into that unsweet tea.
I had somebody told me that they put a beer in a lemonade.
Well,
and they said that was a Leinenkugel like one of those summer shandies. It was a German guy.
No, there's a beer called Leinenkugel Summer Shandy, and it tastes it's like a legitimate brand and beer. Yeah, it tastes pretty good.
So I'm on a heater right now with my numbers in my
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not the biggest.
Just wait till you find out what the Masters is.
All right, anybody, J-Bot, do you have a golf question?
I do have a golf related question, kind of, sort of, because right now at my house, I have a 1.5-year-old son, and he thinks that all the pollen that's on the tables, that he needs to go full Scarface and stick his face all in it. And so now we're dealing with allergies and all that mess. So that made me think, you don't really hear about a lot of golfers getting sick or dealing with stuff. Maybe they keep it under wraps, whatnot. How do you deal with the pollen? Does the PGA buy out all the local honey at the stop that they're at and leave it in the locker room?
Good question.
How do you deal with that and the sickness? Because I don't feel like anybody ever gets sick outside of the whole COVID deal. But
I can tell you, we definitely deal with allergies. I take Allegra D if I have to, like at Houston's pretty bad allergy wise. So just took my allergy medicine. On that topic, I believe there's a shot you can take, like an allergy shot. And I think I've heard that once you take the shot, you're pretty good for like a couple years. But again, I've never done that.
Sign me up.
I'm not a doctor, by the way, obviously. Like, don't take anything too seriously that comes out of my mouth. So, but I have heard that is a thing. But no, we deal with allergies all the time.
Local honey.
Hey,
yes,
if that works, great.
I'm just saying, like, I'd look at the calendar. I'm like, all right, I could get through Bay Hill. Maybe the Players, but then I'm gonna have to take a couple weeks off because I can't deal with all that.
I can't see
the pollen.
It was like Brian Seal face.
Hopefully, I'm in the Masters by then, so I don't have to worry about it. But
there you go.
I'd have to plan my whole schedule like that.
No, just no. I think every one of us probably carries some type of allergy medicine that we have just in case. So yeah, that's. I don't know how anyone else does it, but yeah.
Okay, next question. Are colored golf balls okay? If you're below 60, I like to use like the tailor-made like red balls. I love those things. I don't even know why. I just think they look cool. You probably have never seen them.
They're red.
They're red. They make these. They're like all pastel colors. It's incredible. They're like matte. They're like painted matte. It's crazy. Is it okay to use colored golf balls as
only if it's a Titleist golf ball, because they make the best golf balls.
Love that.
And yes, I'm a paid spokesperson, but hey, that's the truth.
Brought to you by Michael Kim.
But yeah, so they make a yellow Titleist.
Hey, I am you can do whatever you can play, those pink Volvic golf balls if you want. I will play what's best for me, which is a Titleist Pro V1X.
Love that.
How many did you go through to find that's the one?
So for me, it's actually kind of simple. Like, it's either the Pro V1 or the Pro V1X. And for me, because I play a draw, and in general, I don't put a ton of spin on my golf ball. The Pro V1X spins a little bit more than the Pro V1, so that's kind of the one I've been using for a while now. Yeah, that's kind of it. There are different versions of the Pro Vs that pros have access to, but I've never used any of those like other versions because they're usually for like kind of like fringe cases, like Cam Champ, who has like 130 ball swing speed, and so he needs to keep the spin down. So he plays, I think it's like the left dot or something like that, and that's just like a super low spinning golf ball. But if I played that, like my golf ball would be like just falling out of the air, so I couldn't use that. So I just used the standard Pro V1X that everyone else can buy. And it's
Really
just
interesting.
it's like some of the like there's a lot of comments that annoy me on Twitter, obviously, but like the some of the stuff that really annoy me is when they're like, oh, like, you know, they get custom clubs, they get, you know, they get perfect special golf balls. Like, if I could use those, you know, it'd be my, you know, my golf game would improve. And it's just like,
No, it wouldn't.
it's like we're dealing with like such small margins for us. Like, we're trying to, you know, like we just work with like, you know, 1% here and there. Like it's not like, I promise you, like, if I use a Pro V1 tomorrow, like it's not going to be like a massive difference tomorrow. Like it's not, we're not dealing with like, you know, such big differences.
Well, a lot of times you're not throwing stuff all around trying to change a bunch of stuff. Once you kind of figure out what works, you want to keep it as pretty much the same, I would imagine, unless things start on, you know,
yeah, I mean, like
going your way.
I played the same driver shaft for a while now, even though the head has changed. Basically, I mean, heck, like my iron shafts is an S300s. Like I don't even play X100s, which is kind of the standard PGA Tour extra stiff. I just play the S300 or S400 or something like that. So like honestly, like my clubs are closest to amateurs lofts as you can kind of get. Like I play an 11-degree driver on my Titleist GT2. And there are guys that play like 9-degree, but I literally can't get it in the air. So
Just 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I will take Ludwig Oberg's drive, and like it will look like just a complete dive bomb to the right. Like I can't hit it at all.
It's like curveball.
It's just like woof, just down to the right.
Top spin, baby.
Yeah. So I guess the message there is just to get fitted. But yeah.
Well, it's like you were saying earlier. The last tournament you were in, you had 2 clubs that had cracks in it, and you realize that because you hit a bad shot. Like you're that good. You know, it's like
it's
I don't normally hit that way, so there's got to be something wrong here.
I do remember, like, I was hitting golf balls next to Adam Scott, and he hit like one bad 3-wood. And like me, if I hit a bad 3-wood, I'm kind of like, oh, like what did I do there? He hits a bad 3-wood, and he's like looked at the club like funny, like, huh, like something must be off.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, if I was Adam Scott and I had a swing like his, I'd probably think the same thing.
Well, and 20 years, you might be with that many more swings. You never know.
Maybe.
Anybody? I have another golf question. This is just the lad. I'm sure you're aware of the epidemic online about the scrambles at the local municipals. How do we solve that problem where people are turning in like 43s and 42s?
I mean,
have you seen that?
That will never be solved. That is just sandbaggers. You know, my guy Aaron Rodgers sandbags at the AT&T Pebble Beach.
What?
Did he not?
Ah!
That's why he got moved off the list.
The nicest guy in the world, like won 2 in a row, maybe. I don't know. Like it's if that helps you make you feel better and sleep better at nights, then by all means,
it's ridiculous.
It's bad.
It's ridiculous. It's a problem around the country, and I'm seeing if we can put a stop to it somehow. Okay. Anybody else have any golf questions?
Well, I have a little bit more of a serious one. Unless you want me to wait for it, I can do it now.
Absolutely.
Well, in my thought, we talked a little bit about the mental game earlier, and I was a kicker when I played football, so it's a little bit similar to golf mental wise, and so I would always try to picture where I was going to kick a field goal on it going through the uprights, and then when I went out there, I'd be able to do that. So it made me think, because I've worked a few golf tournaments, quite a few, and I don't feel like I've seen this a ton, and it just got me curious. Like, you're playing in a major, you do not make the cut, unfortunately. Everybody usually just goes home or goes to the next town to where they're playing. Why are you not mentally and physically on Saturday, Sunday? Let me go to the range and warm up like I'm getting ready to play in the final pairing, so I know I can get that rhythm. I know what it feels like to be there when those guys are there.
So there's two parts, I would say. One is that a lot of guys stick around and practice Saturday, Sunday before going to the next town. That happens every week. Plenty of guys miss the cut and stick around, hit some balls, practice while the other guys are playing. That's completely normal. The second part of like going, like pretending you have like a final round tee time and doing that, I can see where you get the idea, but like in my through what I've learned about kind of the brain and how it works, like your brain knows it's not the final round, and you can kind of go through the motions as if it is, but it's I would say it's almost impossible for yourself to fool your own brain. Like, hey, if this is the final round, like this is what I'm gonna do, and I guess in some ways it could help, but it's never going to actually simulate that game time feeling of Sunday at the Masters or Sunday wherever, when you have legitimately a final round tee time, and if you do it at this, just because you do it at the same time on a Sunday, like doesn't mean it's gonna
No
prepare
psychological
you like
warfare
all
there.
that much. And like for me personally, like, and a lot of guys have kind of told me the same. If you're playing in the final round of any tournament on the PGA Tour, it means you're firing on all cylinders. And once, at least for me, like once I get to the golf course, we all have our routines that we've worked out for months and years, that we've done the same, pretty similar things. And it gets easier when we get to the golf course. The harder part is actually when you're off the golf course, and it's like those long nights and the long Sunday mornings. Those are to me, like those are a bit harder on the mind more than anything. For me, once I've got to the golf course, like I know exactly what I'm doing for the most part, and it's kind of a bit more of a calming, smooth sail at that point, because I have my routine and I know what I'm doing.
So are you saying like it's the waiting game to up to the tee time? If say if you're in that final group or something, it's that time of waiting that's the toughest because you're
Yeah,
just like maybe overthinking.
yeah. I mean, like it's hard to, if you're like
Or anxious.
now I feel like I have a better handle on it. But when I won in 18 at the John Deere, like the hardest part was I had a lead starting on Friday, so that Friday night, Saturday night were probably the toughest for me. I got like 3 hours of sleep both nights, and I would just wake up just because it was hard for my brain and my body to kind of
Settle down.
unwind a little bit, settle
Yeah.
down. Like I knew I had a really big opportunity in front of me, and my brain was just running, going crazy. And at that time, I didn't have as much of a understanding of what to do to kind of let those
Oh yeah.
thoughts go by or
Well,
whatnot. And so like,
well, you've never been in that situation though,
yeah,
right?
like, and so
Yeah.
like, like I would purposely, so Friday night, I would go to sleep at 10, wake up like wide eyed, like completely, like my heart's beating, and I'd look at the clock and it'd be like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Like, and I'm kind
oh.
of like, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
And so like, and so the next night, Saturday night, I purposely went to bed. John Deere is like one of the actually like really tough on your body because it's like 100 degrees humidity, and the golf course is actually a tough walk. Like, I'm super tired. I purposely went to bed at 12 just so I could kind of push back the time a little bit. Then I would wake up at like 3:30, and I'm trying to go back to sleep, but like I have 7 hours to kill before I head to the golf course, and I remember just the longest 7 hours that I can imagine.
It's a full
Luckily,
work
like
day.
Wimbledon was on, so I would watch Wimbledon a little bit. The time change makes it work, so where the finals were a little earlier, so I could watch that. But like, like those things are just, kind of going back to that earlier question. Like, it's just hard to simulate that at all beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mental, like you said, your brain, being able to recognize that that's what's going on is a learned pattern, right? And then instituting the regulation of those emotions and those feelings is also a learned pattern. So, but that's wild. Okay. We got like one more. What do you, J-Vi Butch, any more golf questions? Any more serious questions? Because I got the debate ready to pull up.
I do. With your broken clubs, how fast is it coming in from your Amazon account? Your new clubs. Do you have to deliver it to where you're going to be at, or does it just ship to your house?
So, I don't know how it is with other equipment companies, but Titleist is great, and I saw that my 4-iron was broken on 8 afternoon, so my 8th hole.
So they had it to you by the 9th hole.
I wish it was there the next morning at like 9 a.m.
Holy moly!
And
now that's some service.
That's top tier service.
Jeez.
If I had that service, my strokes would be so much better. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
As a tour pro, there are times when like, golf clubs are lost, or stuff like that. This one time, I was flying from Vegas to Korea to play the CJ Cup when it was in Korea, and it's in Dallas now, but my clubs, I had a connection flight, but my clubs never made it past the connection, and my clubs stayed in Vegas. And so in Korea, they built me, if it was like in America, the trucks are there, they could make me a brand new set like pretty quickly. But in Korea, obviously, it's a bit more difficult. But, I think I probably landed Monday morning, and once I found out my clubs were lost, they had something very similar. They couldn't go exactly the same, but they had something very similar Tuesday morning that just built up. So those are some of the nice perks, I guess, as a tour pro. But, it is my job. Like, I need the clubs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
to do those things. So it's a little bit
hard
different.
to play golf without the club.
Or
the ball.
But nonetheless, Titleist has been great. Whenever they realize the severity of me not having a golf club at a PGA Tour tournament, so they do their best to help me out in any way, shape, or form.
And I have seen, since you said that you play the Pro V1X, their sales have rose exponentially here in the last few minutes here. So thanks to you. Titleist is also thanking you
I need to send that graph to the guy that's to my agent and the guy
Yeah.
that does the contracts apparently.
All right, I'll draw one up here. It may be hand drawn.
ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT can
Hey,
do
there
a
you
lot
go.
of different things.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
write your
See, there
Yeah,
was
so-
a class at Cal for all that stuff. See,
Maybe.
Learn basic things.
Right.
We do have a question that one of our guys likes to ask all the time for our guest that comes on. And are you a wrestling fan?
I used to be, but I haven't watched wrestling in a long
it's
time.
changed, man.
It
It's
has
changed. Not like
changed.
it used to be. It doesn't hit like it used to.
Like I remember, like I watched when it was like, I mean, we're talking about like WWE, like
Yes,
that kind of
yes,
stuff, right?
yes.
Like I watched when like Triple H was still like a wrestler. John
Yes.
Cena, I guess John Cena is still doing it, but like,
Retirement
doing it.
tour.
but like before
Hey,
he was an
turned heel.
actor.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Austin
do remember
316, man.
the Rock was obviously like
The best.
like the best. Like, oh my
best.
god, like
Yeah.
you know, if you smell thing would come on and
He's
all
lost
that.
though. He can't
Well-
talk trash anymore. He's too nice.
He's too big of a star now. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, our guy that's on with us a lot, he's a huge wrestling fan, like diehard wrestling fan, like goes to most of the pay-per-views and stuff. So his question that he always likes to ask is, if you were a wrestler, what would be your stage name, your come out song, and who in the PGA Tour, caddies or players, would you pick for your tag team partner?
Caddies or player? That would be a caddy for sure. Like it wouldn't be a guaranteed. I have no idea what my name would be.
That's a tough one on the spot to come up
that
with your
is
name.
a tough
Yeah,
one.
that's tough.
Yes, don't tour.
But for my tag team, I would want a little bit of size. So I don't want, you know, I'm obviously pretty small, so I want a little bit of size.
I think Andrew Novak said he wanted to do, what was it, Taylor Pendrit's caddy?
Oh, Mitch! Yeah, oh, that was a great pick.
He said, "Can I pick anybody?" He said,
Hockey player knows how to do it. Oh man, that's a great pick.
Hub said, what did Hub say? He said Harry Higgs. Was it
Yeah,
Higgs?
he said Harry Higgs.
Yeah, that's more of an entertainment. Harry Higgs too much of a softie, I would say.
I
Bear.
Yes, all bark, no bite.
I don't know about that, but he's too nice of a guy.
I think Lauer said his caddy.
So
didn't he?
okay, so my player would be Jonathan Vegas.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Vegas. Perfect name. You could do whatever you want with it, with the name too. My caddy would probably be Tommy Fleetwood's caddy, Finno. I don't know if I would want to mess with Finno. That guy's a big boy. Big
he
dude.
looks like a brawler, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Off the top of my head, those are my two picks, I would think.
Okay.
And, you know, honestly, like, when we're bored, PGA Tour players have this kind of talk like, who would you want in a bar fight?
Yeah.
Other tour pros.
Love
You had
that.
to line up across the room, line them up.
And I would pick Johnny Vegas in a heartbeat, and y'all can pick whoever else you want.
That means he's got that dog in him. He's got
Dude,
that dog
his
in him.
hands, I don't know if you guys notice, but maybe the next time when you watch Johnny Vegas on TV,
I will now.
He grips his golf club, and when I grip a golf club, like, give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
Always keeps a pair of clubs close.
That's right.
You
never know.
I always have golf clubs in my hand.
You never know when you're gonna.
When I grip a golf club,
nine.
it's like up to here, right? It's like, you know,
Yeah.
the label is clearly seen. Like it's
Yeah.
not, when Johnny Vegas, it like engulfs the entire grip, and he's just got mitts for hands.
He's got oven mitt hands.
Mitts for hands.
Okay.
Big guy. He's on my side for sure.
You know what you could do is like to psych him out one day. Like if you play with him, get really short grips and be like, "Look, dude." Just get like really short grips.
His hands on the shaft.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sure.
Psych him out. Be like, "Look at that, playing mind games with you." I also had it. So I don't know how the sponsorships work in the partnerships, but I was throwing an idea out there. We're talking about this with J-Vi before the show. If there ever were a chance that Kim Kardashian made it into golf, Skims, where you could play in like a golf onesie, I think that might be the next move, the next wave, because golfers, I don't know how they do with the fashion, but Kim Kardashian's getting in the athletic game. Skims.
Okay.
No?
I don't, PGA Tour has like guidelines for what we can wear on the golf course.
Can't play in a onesie.
I don't know if we can play in a onesie. But if that ever comes by, I will definitely message you guys for your input.
I'm going to tell you, just put it back in the closet.
Yeah.
To steal a Happy Gilmore quote, if I saw myself in a pair of pants that looked like that, I'd have to kick my own ass.
All right. Okay. We appreciate you coming on. I have one more thing this was a debate we were talking about. So I did a grilling session and I sent a picture to the guys group chat style. And there's some dispute on whether when you're grilling chicken and you're grilling steak, supposedly, or they're supposed to be separated from each other. Here's the picture. Okay. And everybody thinks that these two middle pieces are touching, and we would love for you to settle this once and for all so that we can put it to
get it closer. Get it.
Yeah. So
are those two pieces touching? Now, there's been a lot of commentary about the seasoning and the lack thereof and what this formation is on the grill, but the point remains, are those two pieces of meat? Are they?
That steak went full squint.
I'm going to say no.
Yes!
Zoom in.
I did zoom in.
Zoom in. That steak is going squints with the chicken.
Chicken is
peppercorn.
Like angled.
That's open mouth. That's an illegal contact, automatic first down penalty.
Like that whole like dress thing, like the whole blue, black, white, gold style. I mean, I could believe either or. I mean,
but he said
like
no.
Someone mentioned the lack of seasoning on the chicken might be a bigger deal than
touching,
but
that's now. Have you ever
for another day? I guess.
Have you ever marinated your chicken in Italian dressing? If not, that's the way to do it.
Interesting. I've never done that before, but
it's good.
You should try that. Get back to us on that
with some cheese on top.
Yeah, but so the point remains that the two pieces of meat are not touching.
That is my personal opinion, but if someone said they're for sure touching, I'd say, okay, sure. I can believe that as well.
You're not going to spend too much more time on it.
I'm not going to spend too much of my energy debating this particular part, but I can only share my opinion.
But we asked for
moving right along.
Well,
that's good,
man. We really appreciate you coming on and taking the time out of your day, especially with all you got going on, and the success that you've been having this year is pretty cool. And we've been following along, and it's really cool to see that, everything you give to the fans, to see you get what you deserve out of what's going on this year is pretty cool. So we really appreciate it. Coming on shows like ours, it's cool, man. So thank you.
No, I'm happy to be on, and I have a good Masters. We'll make it a tradition.
Yes,
we will. Now there was
none other.
When Hubs came on here, the next event was the PGA Championship, and he was in the lead with Scotty up until Sunday. So,
little Millie goat bump.
But yeah, if that happens, that would be phenomenal. We put down their futures master champion. But thank you so much for coming on and spending time with us, taking time out of your week. You got a lot going on, so we appreciate it.
I'm not happy to do it.
All right. Well, we'll talk soon.
From 28 yards. Good snap, holds down,
this is
and
J-Bi
the
kicking a
Mountaineers
field goal when we were in college.
overtime.
You moved it.
The field goal.
I moved it. My bad.
Oh, don't let it fool you. He played that thing.